I text that ass again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. You know what I mean? When I start streaming out that, and that, stop it. Knock it off, cuz. Stop it. Tell them send that bag and I'm coming. And I'm, you know.
Gervonta Davis initially stated he can't fight YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, who is 12 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 7 wins by way of knockout, until he reached the status of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Canelo Alvarez.
Man, I think it's great for boxing. I think like boxing right now is like on top, you know what I'm saying, of the sport, bro. You know, one thing is boxing will never die, bro. Like
This fight has the whole boxing world divided. Tank Davis just destroyed Jake Paul with brutal words. Fans are asking, has Tank sold his legacy for money? Or will he shut Jake down? Gervonta Tank Davis has finally spoken about Jake Paul, and his message was clear. He's not impressed. Tank said confidently, "Jake can't compete with me." He even called Jake nothing more than an Instagram boxer, adding that Jake is overweight, lacks skills, and doesn't have the experience to truly challenge him. Davis left no doubt about how little he respects Jake's chances.
To me, like, I don't think that would even be, like, fair.
No, I think that he's you know how he got fat? He's a Instagram boxer.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy. Like, I wouldn't want to leave my girl around him and shit, but, like, I don't know about when it comes to boxing, like...
It wouldn't be fun. He's a really good-looking guy.
I wouldn't want to leave,
no, he would. It's not fair.
I'd probably be a little worried, to be honest, but...
With Ryan?
When it comes to boxing...
Ryan looks like a Greek goddess.
Tank would fucking toss him down.
Oh, he does. He's a good-looking dude. You're right. I would be afraid to leave my girl around him.
And he is dope to watch in, like, the Instagram videos and shit, too. Like, he has fast hands and shit. He's obviously a good boxer, but...
Yeah.
What about when it comes to, like, this level? It wouldn't even be fair?
He can't compete with me. People in the gym will tell you, like, I've already got top skill.
Tank has always been outspoken about his opponents, and Jake Paul has often been in the spotlight. In earlier interviews, Davis laughed at the idea of fighting Jake, saying he'd only consider it if Jake ever reached the level of legends like Tyson, Pacquiao, or Canelo. To him, boxing was about legacy, respect, and years of sacrifice, not YouTube fame. But now that the fight is official, fans are pointing out the contradiction. Critics believe Tank may have put money above legacy, moving from dismissing Jake as irrelevant to cashing in on the spectacle. This shift has created big debates among fans worldwide.
Gervonta Davis initially stated he can't fight YouTube sensation turned professional boxer Jake Paul, who is 12 wins, 1 loss, no draws, 7 wins by way of knockout, until he reached the status of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Canelo Alvarez. And now yesterday, we have gotten an announcement that November 14th in Atlanta, Georgia, Gervonta Davis, instead of fighting the highly anticipated rematch with WBA super featherweight, now lightweight star title contender, whom they fought March 1st to a controversial draw, and that being Lamont Rose Jr., who is 25 wins, 1 loss, 2 draws, 10 wins by way of knockout. Gervonta Davis is instead going to fight Jake Paul. So now he views himself on the level of Floyd Mayweather, Manny Pacquiao, and Canelo Alvarez. He feels like he has achieved what he set out to achieve to reach that level. And/or he just seen the money flashing and decided that's the right direction to go in, because he clearly has not reached that level. He said that he had to do things in the sport of boxing still and fight his peers. He's only fought one guy.
Shocker Stevenson, the undefeated star, also shared his opinion. He admitted Jake might have a size advantage, but said that size won't matter against Tank. Stevenson explained that boxing is about skills, speed, and ring intelligence. In his view, Tank has all of these in abundance. Stevenson said that, even though Jake trains hard and has a few wins, he isn't at the level of fighters who dedicated their lives to boxing. Tank's explosiveness, accuracy, and knockout power will always be too much for Jake's physical size. Asterisk.
His last fight when he fought Lamont, Jake Paul was at the fight. He told y'all he was going to fight somebody like Jake Paul. So I'm not shocked. It don't surprise me. So, nah.
You know, Shakur, Jake, when he fought Mike Tyson, he was 227 pounds. He was 199 and like 199 point something his last fight against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. He hasn't been only boxing for a couple of years. He's 12-1. Tank Davis obviously been boxing his whole life. He's 30-0-1. He's knocked everybody out except for 3 opponents in his life. But at what point does size matter so much, though, where it can't be overcome, Shakur? And is it in this case here when you've got what is like a 70-pound difference between these two guys?
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but if I'm thinking like I'm Tank, I'm probably just going to go out there and try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ against him. So I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
Not a lot of people have talked about Jake and said he's got good power. Not even and I get anything could technically happen, but you don't even see a realistic shot where he could land one big punch, and Tank being so much smaller, he just can't handle the power.
Nah, not at all. I think Tank is he's been boxing his whole life. Been boxing since a kid, so I doubt like that's gonna be an issue or problem. I think Jake is good for where he's at, but I think it's just levels.
British heavyweight Dave Allen also gave his take, and he was disappointed. Allen said Tank versus Jake Paul is just another spectacle. Fight that boxing doesn't need. He argued Tank has already proven himself and should either fight real champions or retire with honor. According to Allen, fights like this weaken the true spirit of boxing, turning it into entertainment shows instead of competitive battles. He believes Tank's career deserves more respect than a clash with a YouTuber.
He's training this fight, but fighting against real bears. This is true. People are going, no chance, no chance. Do you reckon this guy, could he be the toughest of your opponents so far, do you reckon?
I don't think he's the best that I've faced a few Olympic medalists, a few world title challengers, but I think he's probably the most dangerous. Maybe not the best boxer, he might not be the most technical, but he hits really hard, he's really big and strong, so yeah, I think it's the most dangerous task I've faced, but he may be not the best fighter I've been in with.
Whereabouts is the fight, Dave? Where are you fighting him?
He's still at Sheffield Arena,
right?
Headlining in Sheffield, which is like my local arena. So yeah, it's a big night for me.
He won his last fight, didn't he, Dave, against Ricardo Brown, and 20 wins, 19 KOs he's got. So like you says, he is dangerous. How's the training gone for you ahead of this fight?
Yeah, it's been good. It's put a bit of fear in me, to be honest. I've had a bit of genuine fear. I've been stopped, but I've never been on the canvas ever as a pro or amateur. So, and I'd like to keep it that way, really. Yeah. I'm not on anyone's highlight reel. You see highlight reels of all the fighters I face. I'm not on any of them, and I'd like to keep it that way. So yeah, training has gone up a notch. For the Fisher rematch, I did weigh a little bit heavy. So for this one, if I cut any corners, there's a good chance I'll get beat in bad fashion. So it has really perked me up a little bit. I've been training a tiny bit harder. I've been eating a whole lot better and resting, and I think I'm looking at a career best performance.
Good man. Let's move on top of this big news of the day. Cruiserweight Jake Paul and WBA lightweight world champion Gervonta Davis will step in the ring together in an exhibition in Atlanta, November 14. For context, the top weight for cruiserweight sits at 90.7 kilos, while the heaviest a lightweight can be is 61.2. Dave, this is surely I know it's an exhibition, but this is a mismatch, surely. It's ridiculous.
I'm not a fan of exhibitions as it is. I think if we're doing exhibitions, if there have to be a thing, let it be a thing for retired fighters.
An Ariel Helwani show. Analysts broke it down. They agreed the fight grabs headlines but warned fans not to see it as a real competition. Some compared it to Mike Tyson's recent exhibition, focused more on entertainment than proving greatness. They noted Jake Paul's natural size advantage over Tank, but also recognized Tank's speed and fight IQ. Still, they said the big weight difference changes everything. In their eyes, this fight is not about who the better boxer is, but about how the event entertains the world.
And by the way, like, I feel like this was similar to the, as I alluded to earlier, the Mike Tyson-Jake Paul fight had similar kind of question marks around it. Like, is this going to be an exhibition or is this going to be an official fight? And you kind of go through the motions and go through the process of this. So I imagine that Jake Paul, Nikisa Badarian, and MVP are going through the process of trying to get this to be an official fight. And if not, they can still do this as an exhibition, no problem. What weight class they meet at is going to be very fascinating, right? Like, is Jake Paul going to try to get down lower in weight to make it more fair?
Can they meet at a weight class, or will they just agree on what they're willing to fight at?
Even if they meet at a weight class, let's just do the math, right? Even if they met at, I don't know, 190? No, I don't think Jake Paul can
get up to 190.
I don't think Jake Paul can get down to that.
So that's why I think it'll be an exhibition.
No, Gervonta can get up to, okay, there's in MMA, for certain weight classes, you must be a minimum weight, right? You can't be within X percentage difference of your opponent. Yeah. There are some jurisdictions where I don't believe that is accurate, where that is true. I'm curious if Atlanta is one of them. We should try to look into that if we can. Maybe Jordan can look into that. If there's a weight minimum that you have to meet. Otherwise, if they agreed to a catch weight of, let's say, 100, what's the lowest Jake Paul's ever fought at?
I don't know. 185 for the Nate Diaz fight?
I have to think that's the smallest, right? Here, we're going to do...
Okay, let's say like he can get down to 180.
Unfortunately, Tapology doesn't have the weight on here.
Yeah, I mean, let's just say he can get down to one of those weights. Let's just say hypothetically 185. Is Gervonta Davis getting up to that?
He will not get up to that, but he can get within 20 pounds of it, maybe? Yeah, maybe.
I mean, do you think it's a strategic move for them to put it in Atlanta?
Former champion Carl Froch was the harshest critic. He called the fight a complete joke. Froch said Tank should only fight real contenders in his division, not YouTubers looking for attention. He argued that such matchups damage boxing's reputation and disrespect fighters who work their whole lives for greatness. His blunt words reflect what many boxing purists feel, that spectacle fights are overshadowing real battles between world-class athletes.
Man, I think it's great for boxing. I think like boxing right now is like on top, you know what I'm saying, of the sport, bro. You know, one thing is boxing will never die, bro. Like, everybody wants to see that kind of combat, you know what I'm saying? So I think it's great for the sport, you know. And the thing is that the Netflix, the production factor behind it is legit, you know what I'm saying? And the cards are actually good fights. The only one that was, a bit of a dud was was watching old Mike Tyson back, man. But I love Mike, you know, but he wasn't his usual self. But other than that, man, they've been great events.
What do you think about Tank and Jake Paul?
You know, man, I don't know if that's actually real. You know what I'm saying? Could it be just publicity? Could it be just, you know, I don't know. I don't know if that's legit, man. You know,
You think Jake just posted it up too?
Yeah.
Not Tank yet. Not Tank yet, though.
Yeah, that's part of the biz, man. It's just, look, man, one thing that I learned being around Jake, you know what I'm saying, is
post early.
Huh?
He's posting a little early.
No. It's just like he just gets people talking. You know what I'm saying? And he keeps his name, you know, on the top of the subject. You know what I'm saying? So, it's just it's marketing, bro. It's marketing.